Okay, we're on Daf Yud Bet Amud Bet. We're at the start of the first of the wide lines, 3 lines down in the mid-wide lines. In the English Art Scroll edition, we're on 12b3. So last week we started to discuss the 7 heavens, and we saw that there's a place called Vilon, the curtain. That's where the sun and the moon come in and out of. That's where Maseh Bereshit is mehadeshet every day, is renewed. And then we have the Rikia, that is the universe, where the planets and the stars and the moon and the sun, everything is in place. And then we had Shechakim. Shechakim was the 3rd heaven, and that's where there was a mill, and that's where they made mun for tzaddikim. That's where they made the mun for tzaddikim. And then we had the Zevul. The Zevul was the 4th place in heaven. That's where there was a Yerushalayim up in heaven with the Beit HaMikdash and Michal, Malach Michal. He is the one who brings karbanos there, whether he brings the neshamas of tzaddikim from Gan Eden and gives them a presence on the Mizbeach in Zivul, and then from there they go up to Aravot, the final of the heavens, or he brings up fiery sheep. We saw that last week. And now we're up to the 5th heaven, known as Ma'on. Okay, what's in Ma'on? Shebo kitot shemalachei hasharet she'omrot shira balayla. This is where you have the angels, the ministering angels, who utter song at night. This is where they sing the song at night from. V'chashot bayom mipnei kevodat Israel. And then they keep quiet during the day because of the honor of the Jewish people. Shenemar, as you have a pasuk, Yomam yitzaveh Adonai chazdo uvalayla shiro imi. In the day, Hashem will command His loving kindness that He'll tell the Malachim, don't sing, because the Jews will be singing. And in the night, His song is with me. The Malachim song is with Hashem in heaven, right? Because Lamaaseh, the Malachim being on a higher spiritual level, their song is probably greater than the Jewish person's song. But Hashem wants to hear the Jew, so He makes a special chesed that the Malachim have to keep quiet. Okay. Now, the Gemara now goes into some other teachings about this pasuk, and we're going to see in the end that the Riyach, others want to say that it's all connected, and perhaps that's what the Tosfot is saying as well, that we didn't finish speaking yet about the 7 heavens, and all this is part of the 7 heavens. So let's take a look. Amar Reish Lakish said, Kol ha'osek b'Torah b'layla, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe Chalav Chut Shel Chesed Bayom. Anyone who learns Torah at night, Hashem gives him a chut shel chesed charm during the day. Shneimar Yomam Yitzvah Adonai Chazdo Umatam Yomam Yitzvah Adonai Chazdo. My time Yomam Yitzvah Chazdo Mishum Uvalayla Shiro Ili. And we know kids with Ashira Azois is talking about the Torah, and Torah is the Shira. So if you learn Torah at night, then you get a chut shel chesed in the morning, right? First of all, we'll start with the Rambam. The Rambam says that a person's chachma comes from learning at night. Learning at night was made just for learning Torah, right? The night was made just for learning Torah. Person who really wants to learn and understand, he has to learn at night. The Mefarshim bring down learning at night is also a private endeavor. So it's after you finish learning in shul at night, you come home and you still learn. That's the extra learning at night that no one else knows but you and Hashem. That is the one that gives you the chut shel chesed. Uvalaylo shira imi. Right, that's the person singing at night. Others explain also that usually a person stays up late at night, he's grouchy the next day. Well, guess what? The person who learns Torah is not. You get the special charm on him in the morning. Okay. Ve'ika de amrei, and there's some that say, this is what Rish Lakish said. Kol ha'osek b'Torah ba'olam hazeh. Anyone who learns Torah in this world, Shehu domeh l'layla. What's this world considered like? This world, this world is considered like nighttime, because it's not clear, right? It's darkish. Um, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe Lev Chut Shel Chesed L'Olam Haba. He'll get a Chut Shel Chesed L'Olam Haba. Shu Domeh L'Yom. Shneimar Yom Light Hazah. U'Malai Shiro Yimi. And at night, his song is with me. So someone who learns Torah in Olam Hazeh is zocheh to the Chut Shel Chesed in Olam Haba. Another teaching. Amar Rabbi Levi. Kol HaPosek Medivrei Torah. Anyone who is interrupting is Divrei Torah. Ve'osek B'divrei Siha. And he is Osek in Divrei Siha. He's talking nonsense. Ma'achalin Oto Gahale Retamim. They feed him rosenwood coals. These are special coals that never cool down. As long as they're around, they stay very hot. They're going to feed it to this person, Shalom, who interrupts his talking and interrupts his learning to talk. Shinemar Hakotifim Maluach Alai Siach. Those who uproot the tablet like words by way of engaging in chatter. Vishoresh Retamim Lahmam. Eventually, the root of the rotem coals will be their meal. Okay, now there's a Riyaf who wants to explain the whole thing as follows. And what zechut does Klai Yisrael have that the Malachim should stop singing and give the chance for the Jews to sing? So says the Riyaf, it's only because they learn Torah at night. And when they learn Torah at night, that Shira with Hashem, and because of that, they get to sing during the day. And Hashem listens to them, rather listens to the Malachim. So if a person interrupts his learning at night, which is the whole chus for him to sing during the day to Hashem, talk to Hashem during the day, then what's going to be? The Malachim are going to burn him. The Malachim are fiery. So he's going to get burned via them as he is talking during his learning. We have to understand that learning needs to be an uninterrupted endeavor. Manal Beis Medrash Rav Skula used to say, and the Scholar Sazman used to say, don't think the Beis Medrash is a Grand Central Station. You don't have to stop at everybody's stender. You don't have to stop at everybody's seat and talk and schmooze with them. Person has to learn uninterrupted. Keep learning. In fact, Chaim Shmulevitz would always teach that 12 plus 12 is not 24, right? Rabbi Akiva didn't go home. Rabbi Akiva went back. Why? Because he said, if I'm going to go back, if I'm going to go home and talk, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same as learning straight 24 years. All right? If you keep turning on the kettle 2 minutes and shutting off for another 2 minutes, it's not going to work. You have to have a consistent fire. And Chazon Ish would say that unless a person learns 3 to 4 hours straight, he has never seen the sweetness of learning Torah. So the person doesn't learn 3 to 4 hours straight, he has never seen the sweetness of Torah, says the Chazon Ish. So we all have a shir here, a shir there, an hour here, an hour there. In the olden days, I was told that Rabbi Yoshe Ber Soloveitch used to give me 3 to 4 hour shir. That was a shir. You paid attention for that long. Learning Torah is very important to be uninterrupted. Chazon Ish says, only after 6 hours a person forgets this world. 7 hours, he feels close to Hashem. 8 hours, all he wants is Hashem. After 9, he's already kadosh. After 10 hours, words can no longer express the spirit of elation which fills him. So that's how a person is supposed to learn, uninterrupted for a very, very, very long time. One last quick quick story. Yaakov Galinsky said when he was a young bacher, he saw a man in the Beis Medrash learning with very, very much diligence, never interrupting, always going straight. And Yaakov asked him, what, Mahi? Why are you so diligent, such a masmid? So this man said, I used to be a very troublesome student. I used to walk around the Beis Medrash talking with everybody. And once the Beit HaLevi saw me and said, whoever learns Torah, we're taught, the Shekhinah comes to him. When you interrupt your studies and go talk to your friend, you're basically telling the Shekhinah, excuse me, but I have something more important to do. So if you're learning Torah, the Shekhinah is there. The person should not interrupt with other things. Okay. So that all is related to Ma'on. So far we saw Vilon, Rekia, Shechakim, Zevul, and now we did Ma'on. Now we're going to the next one. But before we go to the next one, Uminal the Ikra Shemaim. How do we know Ma'on is called a Shemaim? Shne'emar Ashkifa Mima'on Kochecha Min HaShemaim. Gaze down from your holy abode from heavens. The sixth heaven is called Machon. Shebo Otzrot Shelling for Otzrot Barat. You have there storehouses of snow, storehouses of hail. And maybe some of them are good, but there's also some of them that are bad. They're used for destruction. And attics full of destructive dews, and chambers full, an attic full of beads of water. A chamber of whirlwind and storm. And the cave of vapor. And the doors of the rooms are fire, perhaps volcanoes. So typhoons, tornadoes, all these different things are mentioned here. Vildal Tohan Esh, right? Shinemar, how do we know this? And it says, Yiftach Adonai lecha et otzaro hatov. Some say you don't need to read this pasuk, Yiftach Adonai lecha et otzaro hatov, because you have another pasuk, which you mean Hashem has a good storage house, which implies he has a bad storage house as well, and that is in Machon. However, there's a pasuk in Yirmiyah that says, Patach Adonai et otzaro vayotze et kele zamo, that open up the storage house and weapons of war will come out. So there is a straight up pasuk that infers it as well. Now, Haini Birikia Itnehu. The Gemara says, these things really in Shemayim? Haba'ara Itnehu. They're all on earth, all these things. Right? They're in the atmospheric of earth. Dichtiv, we have David HaMelech, who says, Hallelujah Adonai min haaretz. Praise Hashem from the earth. What? Tananim v'chol tehamot. The giant and all the watery depths. And then it says, praise from the earth, Ish ubarat shelik vekitor, ruach se'ara. Hail, snow, vapor, stormy winds fulfilling his words. So all these things you said were in Machon, the Melech says it's on earth. Amar Yehuda, Amar Rav, David bikesh aleim rachamim v'horidan la'aretz. David davened and brought these things down to earth. Amar lefana, David Melech said to Hashem, Lo el hafet resha'ata. You don't want wickedness. You don't desire wickedness. Lo igruchara. You don't want, evil doesn't rest with you. Tzaddik ata Adonai, you Hashem are righteous. Lo yagor b'mgurecha ra. Therefore, an evil thing should not be allowed in your dwelling. Umenal de'ikra shamayim, where you know that Machon is considered a shamayim, nichtiv, v'ata tishma shamayim, mechon shiftecha. May you hear from the heaven, the foundation of your habitation. So, what did David Melech gain, so to speak, by bringing down these things to earth? So there's some Mefarshim that want to explain that if it's up in Machon, it's very close to Hashem. If Hashem gets angry with Kaisal, he right away sends it down. But if it's on earth, then Kaviyachol, as if it takes a little bit longer. And during that time, the Jewish people can be making tshuva and the like in order to prevent these type of things from attacking them. These mothers, nature's weather, so to speak, from attacking them. David Melech was able to do that, but it says there are psukim that say the stuff still come from the heaven. So what do we do with that? Still come from the from heaven, right? This rain and stuff like this. So how do we answer that? So let me just take a look here, Rabotai. Hold on with me. Hold on. Where are we? Okay. All right, here we are. So Tosafon says the question Mishem Rabbi Yochanan. It says Ki kasher yarad hageshem v'hasheleg min hashamayim. Now it says in Pasuk Yishai that the sheleg comes from Shemayim. Geshem sheleg Shemayim, and you just told me that David Melech brought them down to earth. So maybe when it says Shemayim, it means clouds, and clouds are really earth, or so only the bad snow and the bad rain were brought down to earth. But a sheleg hamarveh ta'aretz nishar b'shemayim. But the snow and the rain that is still good, that's still in Shemayim. So another distinction over here. Okay. Continues the Gemara and says the seventh and final heaven is known as Aravot. What's there? Shavot Tzedek. There is righteousness, Mishpat, and justice, Utzedakah, and charity. Ginzei Chaim, and Ginzei Shalom, and Ginzei Bracha. Treasuries of life, treasuries of peace, treasuries of blessing. Nishmatan Tzadikim, and the souls of the Tzadikim after they went through this world. The Ruach and Shemot, Sha'atid Lehi Bera'od, and the future Neshamos by the Kisei HaKavod. Vital Sha'atid Kadosh Baruch Hu Lechio B'Entim, and the dew that's needed to bring back the dead. Tzedek u'mishpat, righteousness and justice. How do I know the Chtiv Tzedek u'mishpat? Mechon Kisecha. Righteousness and justice are your throne's foundation, and the Kisei HaKavod is in Aravot, as we'll see shortly. Tzedakah, giving tzedakah dichtiv, ve'yilash tzedakah kashiryan. He wears tzedakah. That's what we say in the Sedichot. Lo vesh tzedakot, right? He does charity. Ginzei hayim, treasuries of life. Dichtiv, how do we know? Ki imecha mikor hayim, for that is with you the source of life. And ginzei shalom, and treasuries of peace. Dichtiv, vayikar lo Hashem shalom. Hashem called for peace to be near him. Ginzei beracha. Dichtiv yisa beracha me'et Adonai. Beracha comes from Hashem. Shematan shetzadikim dichtiv vayita nefesh Adonai tzerura b'tzoror hachayim et Hashem elokecha. The neshama was with Hashem. Ruach Hashemot she'atil le'barot. The future neshamot dichtiv ki ruach melefanai ya'atov unshamot ani asiti. I'm going to make neshamot. So it's where by Hashem's Kisei HaKavod, which is in the Aravot. Tal she'atil Kadosh Baruch Hu la'achayim b'mitim, and the due to resurrect the dead, also in Aravot. Dichtiv geshem nedavot tanif Elohim nachlatecha, and again by Hashem. And you heritage, you establish it firmly. What else is there? Sham Ofanim. There is the Malachim known as Ofanim. Usrafim, and the Malachim known as Serafim. Hayot HaKodesh, and the Hayot HaKodesh. Umalachim HaSharit, and there's also ministering angels there. Kisei HaKavod, and then the Kisei HaKavod. Melech HaChayram v'Nisa Shochein Aleim Baravod, the King, living God, exalted, uplifted, rests his presence on them. Shenemar. Solul Larochev. Ba'aravot, but yeah, Shemo, exalt him who rides upon his plains with his name, like Yud and a Hey. Now, how do we know? How do we know that these things we just mentioned are considered the Shemaim? Shemaim. At Yariva Rechiva, makes the Rechiva. Ktiv Hacha, Solul Larechev Ba'aravot. Exalted one who rides upon the plains. He rides upon heavens to help you. So you see, Rochev Aravot is Rochev Shamayim, and it's a one of the Shamayim. So that's why we say in Tzadichot, Rochev Aravot. We're talking about the highest level of heaven. So to quickly review the 7 levels, 7 heaven. Vilon, that's the curtain. Rikia, that's the universe where everything is put into place. Then you have Shechakim, where they make the mon for the tzaddikim. Zivul, the Beis Hamikdash, Michal, Kohen Gadol, tzaddikim. Then you have, after Zivul, you have Ma'on. Malachim sing songs from. Then you have Machon, where used to be the harsh winds and rains and stuff like that. Now it's only the good stuff there. And then Aravot, the final one, where Sarfim, Hayot B'nei HaKodesh, and everything is there. Then it says, Reish Lakish brings down v'choshech v'anan v'arfel makifin oto. There is darkness that surrounds him. Shneimar yeshechoshech shetros v'motav shekato cheshchat mayim avei shechakim. He made darkness his concealment around him, his shelter, the darkness of water, the clouds of heaven. Umiika chashocha kamei shamayim. And can there be any kind of darkness before heaven? V'chtiv hu galeh amikata umastrata yada ba b'chashocha unhara ima shera. He knows the darkness and he is all light. So one pasuk that says he's in darkness and enveloped in darkness, and one pasuk that says he's all light. So which one is it? Like kasha, this is the inner chamber, that's the outer chambers. This is actually brought down also in the Sefer HaBahir, in the early Kabbalistic work, attributed to Ibn Chuni ben Akanya. And he says over there, you have two psukim. One says light, one says dark, or one says light, one says dark. Then he said you have a third pasuk that comes and says, in Tehillim 139:12, even darkness is not dark to you. Night shines like day, darkness and light are the same. How is this explained? So there are those who explain it as follows, that really there's no darkness by Hashem. Hashem knows everything. Hashem sees everything. Everything is light. Everything is clear. The darkness is mankind's ability to see Hashem. It's still seen through filters. If we cannot even see all the colors that the sun emanates, right? Then there's no way, obviously, we can see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore, it's as if he wasn't in a darkness, because our perception of it is in a darkness. But Hashem's perception of the world, that's clear. That's the way to understand these two psukim. Okay, now, we thought there was only 7. Od rakia echad yesh l'malam roshei hachayot. There's one more rakia, one more heaven on top of the head of the chayot. Tichtiv udmut al roshei hachayah rakia ke'ena kerach hanora. There's one more rakia on top of the heads of the angels of the chayot. So the Gemara says, hold it. Up until here, you had permission to speak. Speak, not only even understand, but speak about it. From here on, from this one, you have no more permission to speak. As was written in the Sefer Ben Sira, not one of the 24 books of Tanakh, but another book that didn't make it in. Maybe it's called Sefer Chitzayim, and you shouldn't learn it. It looks like the Chachamim did learn from it the important parts. And so it says here, what did it say in his Sefer Ben Sira? Ba'mufla mimecha al tidrosh. And to that which is removed from you, do not inquire. And that which you guard, and that which is shrouded from you, do not probe. When you're allowed to learn. When you're not allowed to learn, don't try to learn it, right? There is a limitation in our understanding of Hashem, and our understanding of Hashem, the Hashem world, the world. A person shouldn't go past that limitation. There's some stuff that men should never tamper with. Tanya, it was so in Baita. Said, I'm going to go up to the heaven and I'll be like Hashem. Right? That's what he said. Got stopped by Kol Amra. And the Baita came out and said to him, you, the son of the son, the grandson of Nimrod, who made everybody go against Hashem. Now, was he really the grandson of Nimrod? Rashi seems to say yes. That's what says it's impossible, because Nimrod was from Cham, and Nebuchadnezzar is from Shem, and therefore it's not possible. It just means that they had similar character traits. It brings like holistic sources. They had the same Gilgal, right? The same Neshama, but in a Gilgal. And the Ben Yagda says Nebuchadnezzar B'Gematria is B'Tzel Nimrod, shadow of Nimrod. So regardless, somehow connected to Nimrod, and it said to him, to Nebuchadnezzar, so most people live 70, 80 years old. Now, do you know how far it takes to get up to the Shemaim? From the earth to heaven, first heaven is 500 years. And then the thickness of the heaven, that first heaven, is 500 years. and then you have to go every single Rikia. You have 6 more. Chen ben kol Rikia. Right? Now, so that gets us to how much? That gets us to Be'erech 82,940, 82,946,250 miles. Okay? 7,500 years just to get to the highest heaven of Aravot. But don't think it ends there. The feet of the chayot are equivalent to all of the above mentioned spans. And the ankles of the chayot are equivalent to all of them. The lower part of the ankles are like also is equivalent to all the other spaces. The upper parts of the legs of the chayot are equivalent also to all of them. The body of the chayot are equivalent to all that space before. The neck is equivalent to Rashi chayot keneged kulan. Karnei chayot, even the horns of the chayot, the ones that look like a short, keneged kulan. So, lemala mehen kisei kavod. Above them is the kisei kavod. What about the kisei kavod? The raglech kisei kavod keneged kulan. The feet are connected all. The feet of the throne is connected kulan. Kisei kavod keneged kulan. The chair itself is equal to all the other sides. And finally Hashem is on them. It's so far. And then if I would say, and you said I'm going to get there, and in the 70, 80 puny years that you have, you're going to go to the netherworld and be lowered. You're not going anywhere close to the 7 heavens. Turns out in the end, it's 90,000 years, and it's about 1 billion miles away. 1 billion miles away. A journey of 90,000 years. So yes, Mr. Nebuchadnezzar, 7 years definitely will not help you in anything. What's going on over here? Michtav Eliyahu says that perhaps this is the to get to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's barriers, and a person who thinks he's going to do it himself is never going to get there. The only way he can get through all these barriers and get to Hashem is is to break through all these barriers. That's what get a person close to Hashem, right? So there's all these stoppage in between. A person has to work through them to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what it means over here. One last piece. The Moreh Nevuchim says, but in the last more than beforehand, is that something that you're not supposed to learn, don't learn it. Don't even try to learn it. Why? Because you might come to wrong conclusions. You might come to say it's not true because I don't understand it. And then a person could become an apikaris. So learn what you could learn, and don't bother with things you can't, because that's stuff for people who are above our caliber. Okay, this is where we're going to end it.